racing here. Light boards up. Bang and underway. Let's see how they go. And it looks like a nightmare for Lopez. He's been left absolutely for dead. And through comes Kovalainen. And Kovalainen has a look all over the back of our man Prima. Has he got him? Coming in here. And that is a superb start by the man. The Red Bull racer has just gone away with it. What a blast, Gareth.
Got a fantastic start, didn't he? And as you said, Lopez was very slowly away. Kovalainen stuck his nose between the two and just duked it out with Prima into the first turn.
Carroll and Speed having a crack at each other as well. They're trying to sort it out here. They're on the drifters for the time being. But what a start from Kovalainen, and look at him go here. Well, the minty green car of Lopez has finally got himself sorted out, but goodness gracious, he could have written his apology all on the grid on his own. Don't know what happened, we'll find out for you later, but what a launch from Kovalainen. Absolute nightmare start. He stuck there, and Kovalainen just speared right through.
Just fly, didn't he?
Right through them. Did not allow Lopez, that was the point, to actually distract him at all, and there perhaps
Rudy, isn't it?
Yeah, one of our answers. And look at this, side by side coming into the opening curves here, and this was bravery. Absolutely.
This was brave.
Held on absolutely superbly, and you have to say, I fancy that Prema just got out of it a little bit there as Lopez finally got himself up to speed.
If he hadn't, I think they both would have been off, as simple as that. So he had to give way, and Kovalainen forced him to give way.
Well, already in the pit, Alvarez, Viso, Yanni, and stuck in the gravel is Negrão, and that's the reason why we were looking at the replay of the start there. Oh dear, oh dear.
Durango cars,
yeah,
I think.
And that's a real shame for them as well. Let's have a look at how this one pans out. And it's here, and the track was very, very damp. It was an early start for them, and there was a few spinners who just didn't get in there and managed to get their laps up. And you can see this hairpin; it really does sling them out here.
Lock-up.
Yeah, big lock-up for Olivier Pla, and he'll be wanting to shine here today. And it's not exactly happening for him so far. Olivier Pla stuck down midfield around 16th and on the drift as we look at Negrão, the Brazilian, on the spin here. That was where he nearly got into those couple of teammates from Durango, nearly took them off. A little bit overjuiced. Who was to blame?
It was a good move. You had
Come on,
here we go. Nose in there, didn't you? But
actually, from that angle, it was a little bit clearer.
Slightly optimistic on Pantano's part, maybe there, I think.
Well, he certainly knew it, and he certainly knew that if there was contact,
you've got to give it a go. You can't just sit behind the guy for the whole race, can you? So
absolutely, and it's all very well to start moralising about cars when they do actually have a crack at each other, but they've got some building to do, haven't they? And Scott Speed is one of those.
Lopez, is it?
It's Olivier Pla who's gone round here, and he's had a nightmare here in front of the home French crowd, and let's see if he did it all on his own.
Whoops. Yep.
Well, he's being pushed clear here. Stay off those curbs, indeed. It may be a medium compound here. I think you're going to get a long view of it. Rear end lost even before the curbs. Didn't even touch him, mate. It was destabilised just before.
On the apex curbs, he just clattered over them slightly too much, as we saw Alvarez do earlier on.
Scott Speed.
Safety cars out, so that helps Rosberg, because Rosberg was about...
Those who've gone, you were going to say something?
Well, I think you're going to make the same point about the pit stops. It's interesting. Kovalainen's in now with the safety car, because it plays into the hands of those who've already pitted, you see. They had space to make up. Suddenly, bang, they're right with those who haven't pitted yet. So this hurts Kovalainen, depending on where he gets out with the safety car. This could hurt him.
Scott Speed had actually come in just beforehand and was marked as having made his exit. I think they'll probably come in rather sharpish, but you know, who knows? They're going to hold on to their position. Can they? Underway. Here we come across the line once again. They're going to be lighter, don't forget, perhaps just in terms of rubber, if nothing else. Round they come. We're under green and rolling once again here as the field come through, and that's the 7 car of Pantano almost doubling up, nearly getting himself into bother. The rest of the field spooling through now, and there are teammates, ART, underway, and they want to get as big a gap as they possibly can here, Gareth, and then come in, but I think their strategy has let them down. Kovalainen has been the man here. So swaps, jinks and dives as they come into the first of another one of these lazy right-handers. There's so many of them. We're going to have, in fact, we've got a replay for you. Let's see if we can pick the bones out of this one. No, it looks like a mighty strop. I think that's, but they are looking at the rear end. Those carbon brakes really are smoking there, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're working hard. Magny is tough on brakes, actually. Oh, yeah.
There's only 5 cars sub 130 at the moment, and Adam Carroll is one of those, I can tell you. And that's the two car of Jan Artam, yeah, just getting it a little bit wrong towards the rear of driver skill. But when it comes down to race strategy and the ability of your team to call it, sometimes it's not about mechanicals, it's not about the driver, it's not about the setup of the car, it's just how you play the game, and that's exactly what has been shown here. Down in 13th spot, stymied quite literally. Piquet Jr., don't bother looking for him. He is retired.
He's got a problem. Scott Speed, his lap times are pretty off as well. Who's just having a bit of a moment.
Scott Speed has actually just posted 131, and in fact there is the number one. That's the reason why he actually lost it coming into that one. It wasn't on the corner at all. He was already destabilised.
He basically got in place for tomorrow.
Correct. They could have picked their way through.
Slow since then that they've blown it.
Exactly.
Now when they come out, they're going to be around 15th place. Finally.
Finally, hallelujah. Premat comes in after Mr. Rosberg Senior went and had a brief word. So Premat's in. When he comes back out, he's going to have 9 laps remaining, 8 probably, to try and
the right rear stuck on as well, by the look of it.
Yeah.
Just for good measure.
There you go. Happy days. And away he goes. Well, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Oh, I think he's coming in.
That was a bit hairy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's new tyres as well. What on earth is going on? It's not Rosberg, it's our friend Bremer.
He took Viso off.
There you go. Well, I don't know whether he's had a telling off or whether he's been telling people off. Something that we don't. There you go.
See, that's an interesting thought, isn't it?
It is an interesting thought, but the laps are disappearing rapidly. And you know that interesting thought that you had there, Gareth?
He's in.
No, it was NASCAR, mate.
Let's see what happens now then. He's going for the fronts.
Right.
Rather than the rears.
That's
interesting. He's going for the left side tyres. Left side tyres.
No,
that makes sense because they're the ones that do all the work around here. Yeah, I think maybe what he did was come in and put some fresh rubber on. He had nothing to lose. He was way down the grid.
He made a second stop. We saw it.
That's right.
That's exactly.
I'm going to say we saw it, but I couldn't see whether he did put rubber on. But I'm guessing he did. Wouldn't be times. And Prema needs to come in and have a deep breath, I think, and count to 10, doesn't he?
Yes, I think more than a deep breath. I think the team will probably reach for the pillow. Kovalainen is not going to push this one. Takes that checkered flag. Good for him. Lopez in second place ahead of Lapierre, Carroll and Yanni, with Yoshimoto in 6th place. And we're just, I was just going to say, we're looking down across the line, and there we are. There's the man that everyone's concerned with, currently behind the 6th car of Yoshimoto. He's going to finish in 7th position. He's going to be on the front row tomorrow. And I fancy that Rosberg could well take the victory tomorrow in the sprint race. We'll just have to produce highly professional, well-polished, amazing outfits, and today it was simply proof of that, and donuts as well. Why save the tyres?
Well, I think that probably might not be wise. That clutching gearbox has got to do a race tomorrow yet.
Well, these cars are designed to be rebuilt only after 4,000 to 4,500 kilometres.
Excluding donuts.
Excluding donuts. I think nearer the 4 if the donuts come into that, Gareth.
Yeah, I think...
So if you are thinking of buying one of these, we often see them advertised in the back of Autosport, some of the older machinery. Make sure it didn't belong to Kovalainen on this race. So confirmation of the result. Kovalainen takes it. The 10 points are his. Gareth Rees is going to be doing the maths in just a moment's time. And the rest following suit. Some interesting results further down here, Gareth. Scott Speed on 15 points. Finishing 15th. Yeah. Just ahead of the younger Lauda. And not a position he would have been used to, and I don't know what his problem was. He certainly had one.
Well, we'll find out later. We'll have a chat with the team, obviously, but clearly a mechanical problem, and he was going well for the first third of the race, had his pit stop, and then just slipped backwards and was struggling with lap time. So whether it was a bad set of tyres or whether he had a brake problem or whatever it was clearly a mechanical problem.
Garcia, Piquet Jr. and